What up, what up, what up? It's your girl Red. Brought to you in part by 321 Podcast. I got a homie. This is my homie from like back in the day, like what, almost a decade it feels like. My homie from Jersey.
Yeah, Tiny Chat.
Yeah.
You know, some tiny.
Yeah, Tiny Chat. The Tiny Chat was popping. I got my homeboy Monstarr fresh out of Jersey. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, nothing over here. Just cleaning my shoes.
Oh, okay. that sounds like fun.
I was just mixing some mixing a track for one of these dudes that paid me and stuff to mix and master. Like at the same time, it's like I got that, and then I was just cleaning my shoes and shit, and waiting for your call too.
Oh, okay. So it's perfect timing then.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
All right. So, you so silly. Let's go ahead and get into it. I just got a couple questions. We ain't gonna be here long. We just trying to, let people down here and other places that we got listeners from, get them to know you, since you got your buzz popping or whatever. I done seen you, doing Hot 97 shit with, pictures with DJ Enough and shit. I've been seeing you move out here. So I just wanted to know. Let's start at the top and just who are your influences? Like, what made you want to get into this music?
Well, the people that got me into the music, bro, stuff, it was basically I don't know, my parents, if you really say the influences, as far as musically, influences, I grew up listening to rock and roll. I'm from Honduras, so it's the music, me listening to rap was when I first moved out of my country. Mm-hmm. She was wild. For the first people that got me into music were I could say Aerosmith or Guns N' Roses or Queens. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as rap, the first rapper that I ever heard was Kool G Rap.
Oh wow!
The first rapper that I ever heard when I first came over here. But the people that got me real real good at rapping, I could say it was Tupac, Biggie, Pun. Those type of guys, really, Pun really made me feel good about being Spanish and fat and rapping.
Got you. You silly. but you know what the crazy thing is? Since we go way back, you have transformed. We both have. I guess looking at one another, we could see the growth from when we first started video chatting online. If y'all don't know what Tiny Chat is, Tiny Chat was this small Twitter phenomenon where it was a chat room but with webcams, and it would be 6 or 7 different people will have their webcam up, and we would just chop it up, or people would talk to us in the chat box or whatever. And I don't even remember whose room it was or how it happened, but I came across you came across me, and it's just been it was cool ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was yo, she's mad cute. Who is that? The girl? But then we just got mad cool because he was keeping it 100 with people. He was nah, I ain't doing that. It was corny. I respected that, but it was more the honesty that really made me it was. That I still talk to a few people from Tiny Chat too. That I met up with one of the homies named Joe Rader. I don't know if you remember him.
I don't remember him.
Remember the guy with the big ass beard?
Yeah.
I met up with him on I had this clothing line that basically gives me free clothes. You feel what I'm saying? They sponsor me and stuff. They invited me to go to Boston because that was their first East Coast show. And then he's from Boston, so we got a chance to meet up with him and stuff like that. Because the people that sponsor me is called Sketchy Tanks, and they got presented by Zoomies. I don't know if you know what Zoomies is.
Yeah,
you know Zoomies, right?
Yeah.
The clothing line and stuff like that. So they had a show with Ghostface. This dude named Horror is a rock black group. That junk is official. And they had this dude named Denzel Curry and stuff like that. So then I got a chance to really we kept in touch how we keep in touch. We ain't get a chance to physically meet, but I know when we meet it's gonna be cool as hell. You feel what I'm saying? It's
right.
We know each other for. So yes.
That's dope. So, how did you get into the music? What made you want to do music? After, listening to all your influences, what was that one song or one moment where you was just you know what, I want to do this shit?
Shit. I don't know. I could really say was probably like when I first went to college, I guess. When I got out of high school, like I went to college and I made a CD because it's like my cousin was really the first person to make me write because he said he was gonna beat me up if I didn't write a verse. Okay, yeah, like my big cousin. But then it's like ever since then I fell in love with it. Like I've been doing music ever since. So it's like I could say when I went to college. And I was able to sell like 3,000 copies of my CD, and that right there made me feel good. And the other thing was like I was able to like express myself verbally. You feel what I'm saying? Like I was able to express how I felt, and I just happened to be nice at it. Like I had a natural rhythm and stuff like that.
Okay. So what came first? Was it the producing or was it the rapping? Was the rapping like, or did you intertwine both of them and was like, I want to do both?
Nah, it was really the rapping. I didn't like as far as producing. It was more like it was like out of desperate. How can you like being desperate? I needed beats. So I was like, I knew rapping on other people's beats wasn't like gonna get me noticed. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was just gonna get. It was gonna get me more in trouble because at that time it was like mixtapes were popping. At that time, DJ Drama was getting locked up for having like mixtapes and stuff like that. And it was like a lot of dumb stuff was happening. But I just wanted to have my own sound. I guess I didn't want to sound like you trying to sound like 50 or you trying to sound like. So it was more like the necessity. And then I became a producer, and then the producer thing stuck. Like. It just happened to be that I'm like good at engineering too, and then I just happen to be good at producing too, like how I am with like making music. Everything intertwines. Like you want to be able to do everything at once, like be able to be creative to the point that it's like I could create everything, like almost like a Prince. Yeah. Because once I learned Prince did everything, I was like, oh, that's fire. I'm doing everything.
Yeah, because it kind of cuts out the middleman, and you ain't got to worry about when you got to split up the money and all that stuff. You can really pocket most of it because you've done most of the work. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and besides the money, it's like I get to be creative. Like
that too.
If I could produce for somebody else, and hopefully I could like bring the best out of them. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I like producing too. It's almost like I'm a psychiatrist. Like me engineering. Producing, it's like I'm a psychiatrist because it's like they speak what they want with me.
Right.
What they basically open up with me. You feel what I'm saying? And I get to like embrace their idea and hopefully like make it into reality. Like I like that, like being able to do that with people.
That's dope. I didn't even think about it like that from that point of view. So that's dope. I like it. A psychiatrist. Yeah, that's dope.
Hey.
That's dope. I didn't even think of it like that. So to you right now in your career, like what's the biggest accomplishment that you've made right now?
The biggest accomplishment?
Yeah.
I feel like being able to bring 300 people out to a show, that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, for sure. That
was yeah, like you feel what I'm saying? So that was like a pretty cool accomplishment for me. Being able to have my artists. Now I feel like I got like being able to be plugged up. That's one of my biggest accomplishments right now. Because now it's like I feel like people are gonna start treating my artists and start treating the artists like how they treat me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that's something that I've been working and being able to have my label respected everywhere I go.
Oh yeah, that's you definitely need that. Yeah, that's one thing that I would definitely agree with that. That someone just recognizes you just off the strength of your talent and what you do, and they already know you before you even come in. They're like, oh yeah, I've heard of him. He's dope. He does this. Makes what? Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, word up. You know that saying. He's like, work hard until people get to know you. Until you don't have to introduce yourself, right? So basically, it's like I'm still introducing myself to the majors. You feel what I'm saying? As far as like physically, but I know they heard of me.
Right.
Like my name carried. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like that's something that I'm proud of. Being able to say like I work hard enough that people are starting to recognize me and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So at what age did you get started? Like how long have you been doing the music? Like year wise?
Like year-wise?
Yeah, I can say 10 years, 15.
Probably like forever, I can say. But not like I can say I started like when I was in Full Sail, I was like pretty like I was like 24, 25, but I wasn't like I was always in the background. Like I wasn't able to. Like I became more of the background guy, like the engineers, the dude that record, the dude that will write verses and hooks and stuff like that. But I could say me being serious about my shit, like real shit, like being like saying like once I left Full Sail, I say in 2010. Since 2010, it's been serious since then because I've been doing it on a different level. Meaning it's like I've been using business with like I'm using the knowledge with it. So I could say like 7 years straight. But as far as me doing like serious rap shit, like you know, like me being like the artist that I am now, I could say like 4 years ago. Like, but I always been doing music for all my life because, like, you know, rapping and writing and stuff like that. But like, as far as me being like the center of attention, I guess if I get to say that, was like I could say like 4 years ago, because that's when I took it serious. Yeah, like, but 7 years for my label and stuff like that. But I could say like I've been rapping since I was 15. I'm 35 now. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you've been doing it. It's been in the blood.
But as far as like doing it serious, nah. Like I've been doing it like 4 years. Cause before it's like I was caught up in the street shit. Like I was doing street shit. I ain't really like that's not what I'm gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? I was into shooting shit. Like it wasn't into selling drugs. I was into selling drugs, shooting shit, making my parents worried, like making people like you feel what I'm saying? Like I wasn't into what I'm doing now as I always been, but like I never knew that of the magnitude of where you could be at if you really put your heart in it. You feel what I'm saying? So now that I'm seeing that, I got other artists under me. Like I got my boy, like my bro Umar. I got my artist Jay Smalls, Cuddy Chris. I got my boy Flacco, and I got producers and engineers under me now. So now it's like now I'm seeing that you know, like I say, like in a few years, like I should have my stuff solidified. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and now it's like music. I feel like don't gotta age. You feel what I'm saying? Unless it's like I'm gonna talk about stupid shit. Now it really is more about heartfelt music. I feel like when you're an artist and you can create music regardless of the time, I think it will last forever. You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's almost like rock. Exactly.
Yeah, I feel that. So, how many people are under your label? How many people you got like so far?
I could say I got 4 artists. Okay. I got two producers, and I got besides myself, it's like another engineer and a DJ. My DJ Sky Camp. Like I'm really proud of having like we could go outside and we're like a whole production team, and I got videographers under me too.
Oh yeah, you good. You are good.
Like, and we got writers, and now I got an R&B singer. I can't forget about him, Mojo. He just joined the team and stuff like that. But I've been messing with him because it's like I've been knowing him for a while. Like he sounds just like Usher, like to me.
Oh damn,
like he's dope. Like dope, like without the you feel what I'm saying? Without the burning. But I heard it ain't real no more. I heard it ain't real.
It was too many people coming out for that shit to be like. I mean, if that shit should have came out years ago, and you would have heard about that years ago when it actually happened. Now it was like a dude and fat girl, and it became a circus.
But now it's more like I'm building on that, and now it's like and everybody. I'm just trying to get it to the point that it's like we get this bag, and it's like. It's hard to like just get the bag because it's like where we're from, we're Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our competition is New York.
Right.
That's what we compete with. Even though it's like the whole globe we competing with, but since we don't got our own radio station, that's what we gotta like kind of like deal with. You know what I'm saying?
So is it true? Like I know I'm an outsider, so I just need a little insight. So is it really like a real deal beef with like people from Jersey and people from New York? Like, do y'all not mess well with each other, or is it just like certain people just carry that kind of stigma?
I think it's just certain people. Everybody meshes well, but like as far as the industry goes, it's like come on, it's like the DJs really gonna prefer messing with their own blocks. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not like it's more like territorial. Like you wouldn't let an outsider come into your shit.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of like Louisville and Lexington. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you real shit. Like that's all it is. It's really about like I think everybody's cool. Like you feel what I'm saying? But it's like there is knuckleheads and there's people like me. I'm more of like pro Jersey, you feel what I'm saying? We East Coast anyway, you feel what I'm saying? We the Beast Coast. So it's like, but it's like a mix of like, yeah and no. So it's like, yo, you feel what I'm saying? You come to an outside show, it's like, they're going to show you love, but at the same time, it's like, that's what